All right. Peace and love, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Mind, Body, Energy, and Balance podcast. I'm your host, Samut. And in the other window is my co-host and producer, Flaw 700. What's up, Flaw?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Yeah, everybody, trust y'all are doing good and doing well. How was your week, sir?
Wasn't bad at all. I have no complaints. It's just an energy thing. It's a mentality thing.
You don't never had no complaints, Flaw. You just a flowing type of dude.
I mean, I could before, but with this newfound journey that I'm on, it's like what they try to hide from you, which is right in your face. And once you start learning the ins and out of the way things work, you kind of go, well, listen, there's just opportunity for everyone. Growing up, black people usually, or Democratic, voters who want everyone to hand them something, or like you talked about on your podcast before, they're waiting for a handout. To where if you actually just open up a book and read something, or connect yourself with some like-minded individuals, or get around the right people, it's actually right there. It's actually right there. So. No, I don't have no complaints. It's like they said that, money is, a black family's, it's what they struggle with the most. And I think we talked about that the most. If you can actually take care of that and just, set things, if money isn't the issue, you open up the floodgates for so many other positive things.
That's the truth. Now that's the truth. And you right on point, with our show for this week. Let me start the show, how I start the show. Thank you to all the ancestors upon whose shoulders we stand. May the words that we share here in this space be nourishing, uplifting, and empowering to all those that will hear the sounds of our voice. May it be nourishing, uplifting, and empowering. So that's right on point. I mean, it's just really, evidence of spirit working, because that's really what we want to talk about this week, and we didn't have a pre-show chat about it, but you're talking about money and how that, relieves some of the energies and some of the dynamics that people have to deal with. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should have a complaint. I just notice your persona, and, full transparency. Everybody listening to our show by now should know that Flaw is my nephew, one of my sister's sons. And, I like the family dynamic. We need to keep as much as we can in the family. And we talked about that previously too, that you find people within your tribe that you can work with. You can't work with everybody in your bloodline, or even in your church family or your sorority or fraternity family or whatever, you have to find people that you can, build with. And I'm happy that I'm able to build with Neff.
And real quick, just yesterday, your brother, my Uncle Creed, who came through, said, "Hey, nephew, wash that car for you." Sure. He's a business owner. He does a lot of detail work. He washed the car. He sent me the invoice through his business. I paid him through my business. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, sure. Unc, go ahead and wash it. Yeah, I could have took it to a car wash. No, Unc, this is your business. You have a legit business. Wash the car. Here you go. So, like you said, just keep it in the family. Everybody has something that they're doing, and most of us have something that we're doing. Most of us have something that we're doing. All of us have something that we're trying to do. I think with this family, I think that we know that there is something out there for us. Some of us haven't grabbed what that is yet. Some of us are in motion of trying to complete the mission. So, yesterday, I wanted to bring that up because you were saying keep it in the family. And, Uncle pulled up. He handled his business.
No problem,
and we handle business.
Yep, that's what we do. That really is the way to build wealth. The way to build is within your small tribe as best you can. People who are trying to get you to put a teardrop in the ocean don't really understand, or trying to get you not to understand one or the other, how, metaphysics, physics, the energy, the currency of wealth flows. They don't really understand that. Usually we do a recap from last week, but we just done jumped right in and we'll sprinkle that throughout our episode today. because last week we talked about, fitness over 40, which is important to your wealth, to building money, to building your foundation, is to be fit, is to be strong. What good is it to work yourself, run yourself in the hole, and then all that you worked for, you end up spending on your health, or you give into the pharmaceutical and the hospital, the medical industrial complex, So last week, piggybacking off of what we talked about in our last episode, that root chakra energy, which is the energy of our four walls, food, clothing, shelter, and the money flow, the capacity to earn financial resources, having that all in place, and where you're not worrying about that, to understanding how abundance and your physical fitness all ties together, right? We're going somewhere with this chat, y'all. Mm-hmm. So this week, we want to tap into understanding the major concerns of the Afrocentric community, the African community, African foundational Black Americans, Africans born in America. What are some of the main obstructions to our success? What's happening with my screen? It look weird, don't it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Hopefully, that's so weird.
Hopefully, don't
Let me tell y'all something. Yeah, hopefully it don't. But I'm gonna put this in here. This reality podcast, and this technology-ish is working on my last nerve, right? I'm gonna have to bring in some candles and some sage and all the rest of the shit, because Mama Yoga is annoyed as hell about the technology.
You know what's happening, right? You know what's happening. You dropping too many gems. You trying to help out the people, so they got to sabotage you. That's just how it works.
Is that what it is?
They got to put a bug over there.
Y'all better DM me so we could do these meetups and meet, under the mountain, if they doing that. But the reality of it is, can't stop, won't stop. Mm-hmm. We got to do it because it's our legacy. It's our, we've been here for millions of years. And I personally, as a spiritual woman, know that I have been here many lifetimes, And so we just got to do what we could do. Technology be damned, right? So if we go out, we'll stitch it together and come back. Make sure you lead us in there. Yeah. Oh, okay. So the physical fitness, working in your small tribe, and making sure your root chakra is balanced, healed, generating the magnetic pull that you are intending, right? The four essential walls of your life: food, clothing, shelter, your monetary flow. The four walls also include your relationships, also include your tribal connections, also include the capacity to be resourceful, right? People say, I can't start a business. I can't do XYZ. I don't have those monies. I don't have that resources. No, you're not resourceful. You don't need money to start a business. You need to be resourceful. That's tied to the root chakra, right? So last week we gave several pieces of game information of how to balance that root chakra. And this week we want to move it on and come up to the heart chakra energy. We're talking about building wealth, building our capacity to be more magnetic, the mind, body, and energy, drawing in the things that you actually desire, as opposed to being carried on the currency of the things that you don't want. And, you keep getting the same ish that you really don't want. Why is that? You're not understanding the frequency that you need to set your mind, body, and energy to. You need to turn the dial of your frequency. And the chakra healing and remedies help us do that. So the heart chakra is located in the center of the breastplate, right? Center of the chest. It is an energetic, swirling vibrational space, right? A vortex of energy, if you will. That's all of the chakras, as a matter of fact. They aren't actual things that somebody can take out, but it's an energetic space located variously on various places on the body. So the heart chakra vibrates our magnetism. It vibrates our energetic, capacity for love. It vibrates, to us and from us, the things that we say we want, and even subconsciously the things that we don't want that will come to us because we're speaking the what do you call it? The language of the universe, which is energy, right? So the the heart chakra in Sanskrit is known as the Anahata. It's the fourth chakra in the seventh chakra series. Its tenets are trust, forgiveness, caring, compassionate, loving, being warm, being generous, the capacity to be vulnerable, emotional expression, and magnetic attraction are the tenets of the heart chakra. I'm taking it again from the Mama Yoga. What is this? Mama Yoga Chakra Healing and Balance book. And so this is what we're taking it from. So we want to heal up our heart chakra. Okay, so the heart chakra. So this is what we want to talk about, because that heart chakra, the root chakra, those are our groundedness. Those are our capacity to really be strong in what it is that we say we desire, right? It gives us the confidence, the fortitude, the internal strength, and the alignment with divine source to bring forth what it is that we want to bring forth. Right? So to that end, the heart chakra's color is green. I know I told you last week that for the root chakra, you want to get a red handkerchief or some red underwear or some type of red cloth and place it down in your pelvis area or pin it into your underwear like that. The heart chakra's color is green, right? And it's been known to say that the heart chakra is a magnetic oscillating center of energy, right? Oscillating, turning, spinning, magnetic drawing, center of energy. The color is green, and it will uplift your mood and attract a sense of renewal, harmony, and attraction. That's what that green color does. So you can get a green piece of cloth intended for what that color is supposed to be, right? So let me take a pause here and just say, when I'm suggesting these elements to bring in, it's not that you're just going to get, it's not the red cloth in and of itself. It's not the green cloth in and of itself. It is your power and intention that makes those elements, those accoutrements, those tools valuable. It's your vibrational power and intention that is of utmost importance here. So don't just get a green cloth and put it down in your bosom or, pin it on the inside of your shirt if you're a guy, or even keep it in your pocket. You don't have to put it exactly where the chakra energy emanates from, as long as it's on your person. Same go with the red cloth. But the main thing, the most important thing is that you intend and you infuse that tool with what its purpose is for you in that moment. So the green cloth, you want to, as you are, have it in the palm of your hand, you will intend the goodness that you want out of that cloth, is that it will help make you more magnetic. It will bring you to a place of forgiveness. It will make you more compassionate towards others' concerns. It will increase your warmth and your capacity to be generous. Most importantly, it will increase your capacity to be magnetic for the good things that you want. So we want to intend the tools that we are partnering with, right? Pink is another color that is for the heart chakra. And wearing pink improves your magnetic attraction, of course. It's a calming energy, though, and it's associated with health, love, kindness, and mate attraction. Hey, now. All right, now. So if you combine the pink and the green together, you have one of the highest vibrational color combinations there is for attractiveness, right? And so you want to choose at your discretion. And again, the full outline of what we're discussing here is in the Mama Yoga Chakra Healing Balance and a Chakra Balance and Healing Reference Guide. That is, you can find it in my bio on Instagram under Mama Yoga Wellness, right? So we want to open up our heart energy to receive magnetically more. Now, the reality of it is my perspective is oftentimes our spiritual or religious institutions insist that, monetary success not be our direction or not be something that we concern ourselves with. And I maintain that is really a farce, right? That's a problem. Because everybody, if you are earning well and doing well, that benefits the institutions and connections that you are engaged in. So why wouldn't you want your membership to strive as high as they could strive, to do as well as they could do, to learn how to steward their financial resources and indeed generate great amounts of financial resources? But all too often in our community, and especially the Afrocentric community, the cultural community, it's kind of like a taboo to be interested in and focused on monetary wealth. This is some BS to me. We got to change that because, as I said last week, some of the most, spirituality is not just the so-called good and light and white and high energy in that way. Spirituality also has its opposite side. People who govern the world, this three-dimensional world at this time in history, are using spiritual principles just for the captivation of humanity and not for the elevation of humanity. And they got a lot of money. They're working with a lot of money. Come on now. So the idea fed en masse to humanity, especially spiritually focused people, that material resources are not relevant and that you should not be interested in material resources is another banana in the tailpipe. It's another way in which we are subjugated and kept down. It's another way to keep you enslaved. And so to have your leaders saying, well, if you're really about the people, you should be giving whatever you're giving for free. Yeah, that's a dangerous dictum, a dangerous ideology to stand on. Because when you give people things free, there is a certain lack of appreciation that comes with that. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't be generous and share, and help people as much as you can. I'm not saying that. I agree with that. Of course, you should be generous and you should be giving and sharing whatever your knowledge is, whatever your resources are. But at some point, people should have an understanding that there needs to be an exchange of energies. And that's all money is. An exchange of energies, an exchange of energies in a way that is a win-win-win. You win, the teacher wins, and the universal life force wins. So balancing the root and the heart chakra helps us come into a space of understanding and of vibrational frequency alignment, to first understanding that it's okay for us to gain and manifest our own wealth and our own resources. You have to. And secondly, to understand that there is, it is righteous to share your monetary resources with those who you are getting value from. Now, I don't think people should be trying to gouge people. Recently, I was in a mastermind. You know how folks do these like webinars, right? So I had been following this thought leader for a while on social media, and it was a mastermind about how to use AI to help you write your books, right? Or help you create physical, package your knowledge in a book, in a course, whatever. And it was all good. It was great. I loved it. It was good information. It was fabulous. So then the follow-up was, okay, so here's the buy-in. I'm not upset about that. I get that. That's how the world works. People who don't think that you don't get a buy-in offer, is kind of like you function in a really misaligned poverty mindset, as far as I'm concerned. You have to buy in. It's just an exchange of energy. And why wouldn't you want to exchange, your resources for their resources if you think it's valuable, right? So I don't have no problem with the buy-in. What I did have concern with, however, is, the way in which the buy-in was structured. So it was a 5-figure buy-in. I think it was $75,000 for the program. And if you did not have the $75,000 for the program, you were encouraged to take a loan out, and then, you would pay the loan back. And that loan would then go to the person who, you would buy into the right to be mentored and coached by this individual so that you could package your expertise and then get it out into the market. Now, their position was they were going to introduce you to, they'll help you package your expertise. It's called Done For You, right? They would do everything. You give them your idea, they put it into Chat GPT or whatever and come up with, you would okay it. You'd have to edit it and make sure the voice was yours and the idea was yours. And then they would get you in front of all these people to be interviewed. They'd put you out in the market. Like they would basically be your in-house everything, right? Sounds fabulous, because most of us, especially at a certain level, we don't know who to call to get on NBC and who to talk to get on other people's podcasts and all of this. But this person has a known track record, right? You see a lot of people on their podcast, they have years, 15 years of production and of receipts that they know what they are doing. And that's all good. That's all good. I just thought the asking people to go into debt was alarming for me. It was a little just like taken aback for me to pay for your service. And I bought that up because, I don't know how to not say shit. Oh, Lord, Samut. I bought it up. I'm like, okay, so this is I get the understanding of an ask. I'm with it. I agree. I don't mind. I want to pay for proper mentorship, especially all that you say that you're offering with this mentorship. I don't know how to call whoever and who to talk to at all these, media outlets to get in front of them with my offer and my book and all of that. And I appreciate the inroads. You are collapsing time for me. I said, but what if your mentee does not generate the $75,000 to pay back in a year or 2 years or whatever it is? What if their product doesn't hit like that? And the team's response was, well, we guarantee that we can get you in front of people and we can do our end, but we can't really say anything about if it doesn't, because stuff is subject to a lot of variables. And I was like, okay, all right, I get that. Yep, I get that. And so needless to say, I did not go further with that particular mentorship. I just did not agree with going into debt in that way to pay people in that way. I just didn't agree with the debt aspect, the taking the loan out aspect. I would rather, get out here and trust that universal life force like it has done for my 60 years. God bless. Thank you, God. That universal life force will continue to order my steps and my message will land exactly where it's supposed to land. So it's a lot of different dynamics out here that always make you have to, revert back to, your capacity for what you are doing,
So they didn't offer the payment plan. He just went straight to debt.
That was the payment plan.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like, you could, well, I mean, listen, in all honesty, there were tiers. There were here's an outline of what you need to do for like $5,000, right? Then the next step would be done with you. That means we work with you, but you do all the work. Like we are holding your hand through the process, but you do all the work. That was $20,000. And then the done for you, you just tell us what your idea is. We'll put it all together. We'll make it into a professional, and then we'll do all the PR. You just got to show up to, the engagements and smile and talk about your book and all of that. And that was the 75.
Okay.
Yeah. So they had tiers, but they did not, they didn't have, okay, you could pay us, $1,000 a month or whatever, and again, it's all good. I may not, obviously I'm not the candidate for that level, that type of mentorship. It's all good, but what I'm really want us to, the real message is not that program. The real message is we have to come to a position where we understand that an economical exchange is valid and is necessary and indeed righteous. So our mindset around wealth and money and our relationship with money in the spiritual communities, especially the Afrocentric and the cultural community, from my vantage point, needs a rework. Like we need an adjustment of understanding how that is wonderful and beneficial and that we should strive for the highest heights, So the heart chakra, combining the energies of the root chakra and the heart chakra, are what help us make those adjustments. Again, the spiritual community, which is where I have the most of my, time spent, as a spiritualist and in our Afrocentric cultural communities, almost 40 years of this lifetime connected, spent, and manifesting in the Afrocentric spiritual communities. I see all too often that poverty mindset strain that is really embedded. And I know that if we are spiritual, why are we not using the spiritual tenets to uplift every aspect of our life? You know, there's this blockade in the Afro-spiritualist consciousness regarding monetary wealth. And so you often end up having to take a GoFundMe to bury many of these great teachers and leaders. You often, you know, we see over the times we have to, you know, if somebody says, okay, well, this is my ask, I'm teaching this class and here's how much I'd like. People are like, well, if you really spiritual, all spiritual knowledge should be given for free. That's nonsense. That is nonsense. The confusion is back in the day when we were village and tribe based. I'm using the term tribe in the most exalted, uplifted manner. I'm not using the term tribe the way Europeans and colonialists have used that term. Tribe is a good thing. It's your group. It's your way up. You know, it's how you live, be nourished, and be cared for, right? So back in the day history, when we were village and communal and tribe based, it was clearly understood that the priest's job or the priestess's job was to divine the well-being of the village. So her job was not to farm. Her job was not to go and put in hours at whatever aspect of manual, physical, intellectual work that other people in the village were doing. Her job was to study the universal energy and then bring that understanding to the village community. So because the priestess did not, quote unquote, earn financial resources, it was the village's responsibility to take care of the priest, because they wanted her energy to be freed up to study what she needed to study, how she needed to commune with the spirit in order to bring the word, the message, the revelation back to the village as a whole. And this is where we get it tripped up. In our communities today, people are not really taking care of the manifester that way. But there's still an expectation that what you share should be free. It wasn't free then either. It was an even exchange. It was an even exchange, right? My value to this village is to say that the 7-year locust is upon us in 2 days or 3 years or whatever it was. My value to this village is to help you find the proper mate, is to counsel these marriages, is to counsel the leadership from a exalted, divinely connected vibrational frequency. Right? That's my value to this village. And in exchange for that value, you care for my 4 walls: food, clothing, shelter, and the ease of monetary flow. That's the exchange. It wasn't free then. But in this mindset, because spirituality, religion, all of these doctrines have been used to capture the consciousness, the psyche, and the emotional state of the citizenry, the perception is that if you have spiritual understanding, you should just give that to me. You should go to work 9 to 5, 40 hours, sitting in front of a computer, hustling mail, being a nurse or whatever your profession is in this lifetime, and still make time to divine the sun, the moon, and the stars, and then tell me how to heal this illness. This is a faulty understanding without remuneration, without me saying, okay, here's $100 for your family, here's $25, here's $30, whatever the exchange. So it is my position that we need to address that. We need to do some adjustment to that. We need to bring our heart and root chakras into a harmony first for our own lives and perspectives of our relationship to wealth and money and how important that is in our life, and put it in a place that is complementary, not overriding. See, many people are fearful that if they go after money, if they, are interested in amassing, in attracting wealth, that means that they are some kind of, evil, or that there is no nobility within attracting wealth. Like, you should be ashamed of yourself. You want money? Really? That is some trickery of those who mean to keep the masses oppressed and captured. If you're a spiritual person, you is well within your right as an individuated, connected divine being to source energy to use your spirituality for every aspect of your life. Every aspect of your life. And so the expectation that somebody sharing spiritual knowledge should just completely not request an exchange, as I said previously, is an expectation that we need to adjust, because the perspective is seriously flawed. Now, should they be doing like, you go into debt and pay me $75,000? I don't necessarily agree with that. Plus, I need to see a whole lot more receipts, not just your receipts, but people who have done that and have benefited tremendously from it.
Yeah, what's the winning percentage?
What's the what?
What's the winning percentage? What's the percentage of people that have done it and those that don't? Because there are some that will, regardless of what kind of coach you have. There's just some people who just will not succeed in that field. Not saying that they won't succeed ever, but you can pay for a course, you can pay for help, and you can still lose. So, yeah.
I know. That's right. And, again, a lot of it has to do, that's what they were saying. The variable is you. The variable is, is your information hitting the market? It's a lot of variables. Again, I don't have no slight against the ask. I get the ask. I respect the ask. I just had some shit to ask. I just had a couple of questions, Right. And again, I am confident that, universal life force and energy will continue to order my steps to the degree that my frequency is attuned, aligned, and honed in, so it's all good. But the point, again, how do you feel about money? What's your understanding and perspective about financial success, financial wealth? We are the time for stealing, being dishonest, using all kinds of negative ways to create and amass wealth. The time has shifted, right? I know that people still do it. People will still do it and continue to do it. But we are in the age of collaboration, cooperation, and harmony. It takes a minute for it to fully be manifest, but that is the energy flow that we're in. You can tell that by how many people are working together much more now than they had in the last 10 years, right? How many people are uttering the terms, your network equals your net worth, right? So it's a time of collaboration, and a person can create financial success and obtain financial wealth by what I like to call angel money, providing a service and a care for someone that is reciprocated by the monetary exchange. You can help people and be, a caring, good, what we call Zen or heart-centered entrepreneur, where you have earned your monetary resources not by cheating and harming people, but by caring for a need and helping to balance out a need that people have. That is the age that we are in. So the old perspective of, well, if you rich, you must have done something bad or evil to get rich. That perspective is dying, along with the people who participate in obtaining wealth in that way. And that is what we have to latch on to, us Afrocentric, cultural, spiritual people. You can obtain a wealthy lifestyle and a wealthy life by serving people in a good way. So what's your relationship with money? What do you feel, think, how do you behave in regards to the heart? All your life, money is the root of all evil? No, the greed and love for money is the root of all evil. Have you heard of all your life, child, we don't have those mantras? Remember we talked about that last week? Those mantras, we don't have money. Shut the door, you're going to run up my light bill. Because I can't pay my light bill now. Money like water. It just flows through my hand. I can't hold no money. Well, you only live once. You might as well spend it. Can't take it with you. Right? Well, people are taking it with them. It's called generational wealth. That's what generational wealth is. You're taking your money with you and you're leaving it for the next generation to nourish off of. That's what we need to get to. If you're spiritual, it's your absolute responsibility and right to find a way to increase your monetary life, your heart energy, the alignment with wealth. What can you offer? How can you serve? That's a question for y'all out there. We'll probably put up a poll and see how you feel about that.
Yeah, just like they used to say. You brought up a good point. The saying used to be, behind every fortune is a crime, which was everybody's thought process. But now, like you said, there's a lot of people becoming wealthy just by collaborating, putting their thoughts together, and actually understanding that, hey, you can do more than just work.
Yep.
Once you realize that there is more to life than just going to work and trying to accomplish, the world's duties after your 8-hour shift, your 40-hour week, possibly your 50-hour, 60-hour week, because you need overtime or you need an additional job to pay the bills because the cost of living is going up, but the pay isn't. That can go on and on. So, yeah.
Right. No, you got to be about it out here, and you can't be ashamed or let it make you feel dirty or whatever, unless you do some dirty, shameful shit to get it. That's the only reason that you should be experiencing that. And then that's a good thing, because your conscious, your spirit is talking to you saying, come on now, you know better than that. You want angel money. You don't want devil dirty money. You want to create and offer a valuable service or product or some help some need that the community has. That's what you want to do. And then all your money is pure. You can get as much of it as you can. and shouldn't have no guilt, no stress, no anxiety about amassing in that way. Yeah. Yep. So that's what we're going to do next week. We'll go further. I'll talk about some of the mantras as well as the crystals that you can use for your heart chakra. We hit on it a couple of episodes ago, but I really would like to have your interaction in terms of your perspective about money and how you feel about what I shared in terms of spirituality, African-centered or Afrocentric, and the Afrocentric culture, the Hotep culture. I'm on here now. And the poverty mindset that is pervasive within our Black cultural community spaces. What's your thoughts about that? Definitely want to hear it.
No, I mean, I definitely just agree. As far as like, this kind of how we started the episode off, actually. Just like when you actually get into that space. So when you say, hey, do you have a bad day? It helps in so many ways. So it's like, yes, I could figure some things out to complain about, but life is good. And I just wish that more people understood that once you find out that, hey, you can make money, you can make wealth off you alone. Like you are enough. And it's what I'm trying to show people. So I'm trying to tell people, like you are enough if you just apply. And like they said a long time ago, if you want to hide something from, Black people, put it in a book.
Yeah.
So this is not an overnight success, and there's just no such thing as overnight success. It takes people a lifetime to achieve overnight success.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, it takes people a lifetime to achieve this. So you don't just see Mama Yoga and me just pop up and say, we got a podcast and pretty soon we're going to start monetizing, and pretty soon, it just takes time. But we know what we want. See, that's the thing. We know what we want and we make time for it. I make time for everything that I want. I'm in the gym. I'm doing podcasts, helping people with, whatever I can help them out with. I make time for those things, and it feels good. And it's an energy shifter. A lot of the things that I do, I go, man, did I do anything today? Really? Because I'm doing what I want to do, actually.
Right.
Editing content on YouTube. That takes time. That takes hours out your day. And you can literally, but you can literally sit there later on that day and go, what did I do today? Because why? We're so used to working hard. We're so used to this. And I think you touched on this last week or the week before. We're so used to working hard, but you don't really have to work hard.
Right.
You just have to put the work in and be consistent and be dedicated, and the world is your oyster. Now what type of wealth does that look like for you? Don't know. Could be millions, could be billions, could be six figures. But at the end of the day, when you have that cash flow, when you're able to make it, the way that you choose to make it, it helps out the family. Because like you brought up, close that door. I can't pay the light bill as it is. It used to get yelled at. Like, Dad, Grandma, my mom, she's so mad. But she's mad because she knows that, it's money.
That's right.
It's money. So a lot of the things that we got in trouble for was because I can't afford more shoes. Why did you get those dirty? Why do you have a hole in your pants? Why do you have a hole in your shirt? Where's these clothes? You better eat what's in there. A lot of the stuff, like we thought they were mad, but in a sense, you better eat what's in there because I don't have money to buy anything else. So
right. Yep, it's that poverty mindset, that fear. Again, blocking up the root chakra, closing off the heart chakra, that fear, that worry, the lack of security, the lack of, the groundedness of your four walls. And we want to overcome that. And spiritual tools like we're sharing, the heart chakras and the implements that go with those energies can help a person adjust their perspective and indeed their flow and protection and security of those four walls: food, clothing, shelter, and the monetary flow, relationships, and such. So, we definitely will continue on. And I thank all of y'all for listening. Flaw, you got any words you want to share before we close out?
No, I think I've basically I put it out there. I can't say it enough. That's just the type of time that I'm on. Find out what you guys like to do. Somebody told me this one time: if you became a billionaire or a millionaire, what would you still do? One of them was podcasting. One of them was continue to go to the gym. So right now, a lot of us are doing what we have to do. But if you were financially successful, you was wealthy, what would you still wake up early in the morning to do? Or what would you do every day? Figure that out and then start attacking it.
Yeah, that's right. Hit it, because that's your angel money.
Yeah.
That's your angel money. All right, y'all. So thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to always seek to keep your mind, body, energy in balance. And may you walk in peace throughout your journey. Peace and love, everybody.